Number 5. The G-Team Paranormal Investigators are at it again, returning to the highly paranormal medical center. The paranormal activity that occurs in this video is sure to scare you silly. Published to YouTube in April of 2020, the team writes, "We chose this place due to the amount of paranormal activity we always get here, and lo and behold, they were waiting for us. Hold on to your hats, because this one's a wild ride." Patty leads the pack, and the paranormal activity that occurs in the center is off to the races from the get-go. As the crew is doing their intro, something in the next room falls to the floor.
Yeah. Oh my god.
What was that?
When they go to investigate, they claim that as soon as they walked into the room, it grew extremely cold. Jody screams, saying he felt like something touched him. He said something got his neck, and Patty points out that a cord hanging from the ceiling in the middle of the room is moving. Throughout the entire video, there are odd noises here and there. Sometimes they're subtle, other times they're distinct.
You said doctor?
That was crazy.
Around 10 minutes 25 seconds, Jody is trying to communicate with the presence in the medical center, asking it to tap 3 times.
When
That
when that came out,
You hear that?
Although it does not comply, a shadow falls across the room, and another loud bang is heard in the next room.
Oh god.
All this frightening activity begs the question, what kind of medical procedures went on here? Number 4. Filming in St. Augustine at night would usually mean loads of traffic and a hopping nightlife. But considering what's going on in the world today, YouTube channel Hunting the Dead arrived at an eerily empty street in the usually bustling city in May of 2020. This is part 2 of the channel's Paranormal Encounter series in St. Augustine. According to the team, the spirit of a boy named James likes to come to this area and sit up in a tree in Tolamato Cemetery on Cordova Street. Jody also claims you can hear the boy's mother call him on occasion. The history behind this ghost? During the 19th century, 5-year-old James Morgan would always climb the old oak tree here, which stood 3 stories tall. Sadly, in 1877, he fell from the tree and lost his life. He was buried in the graveyard below. His family had purchased several plots around the boy's grave, but being so grief-filled, they ended up leaving St. Augustine and never came back, leaving James's grave in isolation. Perhaps it's this loneliness that keeps little James's spirit from moving on. Ghost tour guide Dion Moore claims to have seen the boy in the tree on 2 occasions, once in person while giving a guided tour, and once via a photo taken by a young girl on his tour. Moore said, "There is such a thing as energy. Energy never goes away." Let's see what kind of energy is alive in the cemetery. Apart from EVPs, some of the photographic evidence of this site will make your skin crawl. Jody captured a shadow figure in his photograph of the hanging tower platform looking down at them. He calls it the Goat Man picture because the figure appears to have 4 legs. His wife Alicia caught something even more frightening. When taking photos at the entrance, she captured this evil-looking mask-like face glaring back at her. Would you dare enter the haunted Tolamato Cemetery? With the sordid history and the paranormal energy that appears to exist there, I don't think I would have the guts to enter. Number 3. There's no more haunted a place than a 20th century lockup. Published to YouTube by Heather Hauntings in March of 2020, Heather and her man are staying in a cell where inmates have allegedly passed away. The result? Major paranormal activity as evidenced in these 2 videos. Last used in 1984, the jailhouse was once the scene of at least one life-taking, and another person locked up took their own life. Of course, with such a twisted history, many believe former inmates now haunt its grounds. Paranormal investigators have heard caustic sounds, footsteps, and voices. Even the historian believes the place is haunted. Bullard told the Jasper News, "Let's just say I went to the front door and left quickly." I heard something. I saw something that moved like a shadow, and I didn't stick around.
Here all night?
It seems enough of a warning for these paranormal investigators to know they're about to experience something truly chilling. In one video, they explore talking to the spirits via the spirit box, meanwhile hearing strange noises throughout the building. At one point, when they black out the room, loads of EVPs can be heard on the spirit box. In the second video, as they're staying overnight in the cell, they attempt to communicate with the spirits again. After asking if another inmate took the life of the spirit, they hear a distinctive yes twice on the EVP.
Yes. That was a very clear yes.
At around 14 minutes 30 seconds into the video, they start to hear the lightest of footsteps. They attempt to catch some shut-eye in the cell, and around 3 a.m., the witching hour, something bangs loudly, awakening them. Around the same time they heard this noise, Greg says he felt something touch his leg. Needless to say, they couldn't go back to sleep in the cell. Could you? I certainly wouldn't. Number 2. There is More to Fear in the Woods, published to YouTube in October of 2007 by Dennis Daunt. This video purports to show paranormal activity in the forest outside of Dudley Town. In the forest, a man is heard dialing up a friend to let him know that he's seeing some creature in the forest again, and he's going to try and catch it on video. He runs upstairs from the sound of it to catch it from a better vantage point. That's when, faintly, at the forest's edge, you can see a shadow pass in front of the trees in a quick flick. Some in the comments think it's a horse, but according to many others, Dudley Town is a cursed place. YouTuber TOP5 warns others, stay out of Dudley Town, it's a dangerous and evil place. When you get into the town, there is no sound, not even a bird, it's like you're in a vacuum. Bad things happen here. DGS 104 also claims that his friend's car was trashed by spirits there. Well, Dave Harley agrees that Dudley Town is absolutely no joke, adding that many are said to have passed away in the coal mines, while other residents simply went insane. With such accounts and this video, I'm convinced to never visit. Number 1. What would you do if you came across this chilling scene at night? Well, because there's a sign on the side of the road that reads "Free Cat." If it's there to lure unsuspecting people in, it's done its job. As these three stop their car to check out the makeshift animal shelter, as the trio approach the sign, they realize they're looking at something truly horrifying on a dark, deserted road at night. They conclude that whoever did this put the cats there because they're psycho. Couldn't agree more. Get out of there as fast as humanly possible.